Okay. Well, we're there right now. We're live right now. Couple,
Woohoo!
couple of idiots, like I
A
said.
couple of idiots.
Yeah, this is the idiot experiment show. This is what we're doing. Hello, everyone. Appreciate you guys joining us. This is a live show, and this is just the beginning. So I just want to let everyone know that if you're watching on the rewind, this is just kind of an introduction to the man here to the left or to the right of me, depending on how you're looking at it, I guess. But this is my good friend John. John, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing
All right.
really living the dream, just like you.
Now let me ask you a question. I mean, to me, you're John and stuff,
Yeah.
but do you have a YouTube name that you want to go by?
I wouldn't say I got stuck, but I got called John Castle Spiliotopoulos.
Okay.
So, because obviously I am a huge, wait, how do we do this? The huge, right there,
Yeah.
your guy. So,
Yeah.
got that somewhere. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
It's behind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna stick with John.
Yeah.
Just
No. John is fine.
big,
John.
big John. And so I wanted to bring John on here. John has been a friend of mine for a few years now, and we've always talked about possibly like doing some videos together. John is somewhat new to doing videos. He's done a few for the XP experience called Castle's Corner, where he reviews some books. But he's been a friend of mine, and he's been some guest on some other channels. I believe he's been on Sleepy Reader. I think he was on Pop Culture Philosophers with Robbie
Yeah.
before. And but anyway, we've talked about doing a show together, a live show together for some time, and we kind of committed to a bi-weekly show because I'm on the road. It's kind of hard to pin myself down with good internet and stuff like that. And John's a busy guy as well. But we're going to try to do this every couple weeks. The dates are still kind of up in the air, but we will let you know when we kind of settle on a date. It might be Tuesday nights, just how we're doing here. It just depends on if it works out for John and where I'm at as well. But anyway, you guys know who I am. I'm Travis or Bueller, whatever you want to call me. The guy right here, right there, like I said, his name is John. And I'm going to let John have the floor and kind of introduce himself, and he's going to leave out a bunch of stuff that I'm going to fill in the blanks. But John, why don't you say hello to everyone that's going to watch right now and on the rewind?
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
All right, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am 29 years old.
That's not true.
That's very true.
No. Well, he's older than I am.
Yes. Okay, it's out there. Now, 54 years old, married to the most beautiful woman in the world. We're celebrating our 25-year anniversary here soon.
Awesome.
But again, 54 coming Saturday. Actually, Saturday is my 54th birthday. But been a comic book fan since 12 years old. The way I got there is a unique story, which I'm sure freaking Bueller's going to ask some questions. I love my life. Been through tough times. Was in the military during the Gulf War. That's all I'll say. Got the best job right now. Retired from fire rescue, so now I work at a comic book store.
Nice.
Famous Faces and Funnies 2 in Boynton Beach, Florida. Freaking stop by and say hello if you're in the area. And just living the dream right now. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, John's a really good friend of mine, but like he just mentioned, he works at a comic shop. So you're gonna on this ongoing show that we're gonna do, what it's gonna be, we're gonna review some books, we're gonna talk about some new books, and we're gonna do some topics as well from my point of view and from someone who works at a comic shop point of view, because you work there full time all the time, correct?
Yeah, actually, yesterday was my 1-year anniversary. So
1 year anniversary.
Been there. So an average 40. It's not a part-time job. No. It's a full-time job, and I would like to get out there to say, oh, he works at a comic book store. It must be easy. All you do is watch people read books or watch TV or something. No. Freaking Robbie will probably tell you it is a tough job. Fun.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. Fun. Seeing people every week, the same people, and then them asking you what's good, what's not, and you can see the books that are rising. Unfortunately, the ones that are declining, but it takes a lot of work to get the books out, to make sure everybody gets their books, because oh my God, some people, if you miss a book, they're not afraid to tell you. Trust me, but not just that, but receiving and everything. That's one I would like people to know, what goes on in a comic book store. That's I like to show the inside out, of the skeleton of what a comic book owner has to do to survive in this environment. So
yeah, and that's one of the nice things about our show going forward when we do these. Like I said, where they're going to be topic based, plus we'll review some of the new books that are coming out. We're going to focus on Dynamite books because obviously Dynamite is a part of for both of us and stuff, and helps me along my way. But really, it's going to be from a consumer and a retailer standpoint, which will be kind of fun.
Yeah,
John covering the retailer. He's also a fan, don't get me wrong, and me being the consumer as well, because I go to many comic shops and buy a lot of new books. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll cover a lot of different topics going forward. This live video that we're doing right now is just kind of an introduction to John. I just kind of wanted you guys to get to know this gentleman right here, as I do, and why we're doing the show together. But let me tell you some things about John real fast. So me and John met a couple years ago at MegaCon in Florida. And I remember he was walking with our good friend Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers.
Which I met the first time too. First time. Yeah.
And he made Robbie look like a little guy from the Munchkin Land. What was that called?
No.
What's the Wizard of Oz? Since I'm in Kansas right now, I'm using the Wizard of Oz reference.
That's true.
Well, what's the are they called the Munchkin Land people?
The Munchkins, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, John is Big John. He's bigger than I am. He's I'm 6'4". John, how you're like 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah. I'm 6'6", 6'7". It depends. I was 6'7" during my prime, and of course, when you get older, you get a little.
Yeah, you shrink a little.
But yeah, and I weigh about 280 to 300 pounds. Yeah. So yeah.
So we're about the same size. I'm just a little bit shorter than he is. But like I said, we met at MegaCon. We hit it off right away.
Yes,
I got to meet him and his wife. We all hit it off really good. And from those days on, those few nights that we hung out together, we've been really good friends ever since. And we have talked, all the time. We saw each other again last year at MegaCon, which was a blast. We hung out and really had a great time. And every now and then you get to meet someone in the community that you really kind of consider like a brother. And this guy right here is one of them. And I get to add him to the list of really amazing people I've met, and plus friends I have made as well. So being able to do a show with him means quite a bit to me. And we get to talk about some really cool things, because I love talking to this guy. Well, we talk on the phone, we send messages, we text all the time and stuff, and like I said, his wife Brittany is awesome too. Last time we saw each other before we said goodbye, there was some tears shed. We played some golf at a miniature golf course on the Pirates thing at the
best part
in Orlando. That was a blast.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun. So I think we're going to have a really fun time doing the show together, talking about different things. And I don't bring this up, but since it's there, as far as John does a lot of really nice things. Okay. He's a very generous man. Him and his wife are very generous. And it's the things you do when people aren't watching what makes it important. Like the stuff you do behind the scenes that people aren't aware of. This is one of those guys that does things behind the scenes that he doesn't broadcast, that people don't know about, but he just does it because he's a good guy. And those are the type of people that mean a lot to me. And this is one of them right here. This is a guy that does things behind the scenes. He doesn't do it for the street cred or whatever it is. He's not out there posting, oh, look what I did and stuff like that. That's not what this guy is. And it makes it really cool to have friends like that, because they're genuine and everything, So anyway, I just kind of want to brag a little bit and stuff. But let me say hello to a few people in the chat. Alfred Page was here. He's the writer of a few books. He did my exclusive.
Hey, Alfred.
He also has what the new one, the Daisy Chain book. I think it's out. Sometimes it gets delayed, but we've showed it on the preview books, and he also did Blowtorch as well. We got our good friend Robbie, of course, pop culture philosophers. John Stout's in the chat.
What up?
Get the comics, hello. Jay Nunya, what's going on? Nova69, how are you? Will there be coffee? Yeah, we'll probably have coffee, but it's really hot right now. So if I have coffee, it's going to be iced coffee.
We got another.
Stu, how you doing? Appreciate you joining. We got none other than Black Box Comics in the house. How you guys doing?
Dimitri.
Something really cool. Me and the Black Box Comics, or Demetrius, we've been talking about adding some graphics to the bus. So we're going to be putting some pictures of like Dream Master or some of the other properties that they have, some big graphic arts on the bus, so make it really cool. So like the rear view of the bus will have like the eyes of Dream Master with the name Dream Master and some other things. And so we're looking to adding some of that here pretty soon. So it should be really cool.
Get some Devil Dominion on there. You know?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you real quick, I didn't know if you knew this, but Dimitri, next time you talk to him, he goes by Malaka. Okay? And that means Mr. Nice. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't. But it just
Jesus. Anyway, Devil's Dominion is back. There you go. That's right there. That's coming up again. And actually a bunch of the books that were in the past, they're kind of just continuing on, like Devil's Dominion. Also, Dream Master will be back as well. But let me get back to you a little bit there, John. And let me just kind of ask you, you're a big time, you work at a comic shop, but you're also a comic book collector.
Yeah.
You can see it behind you, you know, one of your prized possessions right there, which used to be my prized possession.
Wait.
So are you you must be a Punisher fan, correct?
Yes. What I want to do later on with you, what I want to do is a tour. I'll show a tour of my room. It's actually, you know, I call it the Fortress. You know, it has Alexa. You know, I could say, computer, Fortress off. See, I'm that type of nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
Computer, Fortress on. So I would like to do like a little tour, but I am a huge Punisher guy. Yeah, nice. Frank Castle is my guy. I know you're not supposed to support the type, but screw that. But I really like him. So that's what we have in common too. So that's what actually brought us together. You know,
you got a nice book right behind you. You want to show that real quick?
Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about.
The real nice one.
Oh, I got, here it is. All right, here it is. Here. This is the book that he's talking about. It's Deadpool. Nah, I'm only kidding.
Yeah. Jesus.
This is my pride and joy.
That's really cool.
I'm not kidding because he's here. This is my pride and joy. I cannot believe the day that was sent to me, and he had Brittany film it when I opened it. He had it filmed, and it was just very dusty in the air, and you know, and I have allergies. So, you know, I just, you know, I don't know what it is. No, but kidding. When I opened this, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And it's signed. I don't know if people can see it. Like right there. It's actually signed and everything. And my boss at my work wants it. He ain't never getting it. Nobody's getting this sucker. This was awesome. This is why I love this guy. I couldn't believe it when he gave it to me. And like I said, it's my pride. Out of my whole collection, I have 55 long boxes, 55 of comics and other stuff. So like I said, I've been collecting since I was 12 years old. So that makes 1982 when I started collecting and everything. So I have a lot. I've even have other Grails, whatever they want to call it, like giant size X-Men #1
Oh,
and
nice.
everything. Yeah, but nothing comes close to this beauty, So, but yeah, and well, like I said, I want maybe later on in a couple episodes we'll do like a little mini tour and
Very
everything
cool.
because like I do got some cool stuff. So.
Well, I had that book sitting in the storage unit,
Yeah.
and I was like, I didn't want it to sit in the storage unit, and I knew you always wanted it, so I'm like, you know what? It's just, I kind of feel bad because all my books are kind of sitting in the storage unit, and it's like that's not what comic books are for, just to sit there. Comic books are meant to be enjoyed and displayed or talked about or whatnot. When they're sitting there in the storage unit outside of Portland for years at a time, it's like that's not why I have them. So I knew he wanted it. I was like, you know what, give it a new home. It deserves a new home, and it deserves someone who appreciates it. So that's why I sent it to him, and now it's got a new home. Now it gets to be on display like it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I got, like I said, I got like a bunch of short boxes that are sitting in the storage unit. Maybe eventually I'll bust those out and do something. But most of the books I have left in my collection are gifts from people. I'd say about 80% are either autographs or gifts that people have sent me or something like that. So my collection is really whittled down. Let's see. Matthew says, of the awesome friend you got there, only thing my friends ever gave me was a hard time. We do that too. Sometimes, but for the most part, we're pretty supportive.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I actually look at Bueller, and I say Bueller because that's the first thing, that's the reason why I met you. For me to call you Travis, it's freaking weird. Damien is actually the opposite. You know what I mean? But so I met you as Bueller and you're Bueller, but you're also a legitimate brother. I mean that, and I don't say that lightly to a lot of people. I do have friends, very few. Also another brother is like Robbie. Like you two are like, I love what you do. Part of me is jealous. I wish, I could do what you do, and I would love just to be a part of it. That's my baby.
There you go.
So, and I appreciate what you do. And I know what you do is not hard. Yes. Does it look beautiful and everything? And you look good. You got in great, better shape. I just saw a video of you. I think it was like 5 years ago with Donnie Cates. With Donnie Cates, right? Doesn't even look like you. Doesn't even sound like you. Doesn't even look, So, and I just love what we could just talk about anything too. We don't talk about just comics or whatever like that. We talk about life. Life for you is great. For me is great, but it hasn't always been great.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing I would like to talk about. Life is it's not fair. Oh, thank you.
Look at that.
All right, hang on. No, just kidding.
Oh my god. It's not that type of show yet.
No, not yet. Not yet. No, but I'm saying is, I love what you do. Part of me, wish I was there with you. Now I'm getting a part of the world of comics, working at a comic book store, see it a totally different way. You know what I mean? But still loving it. And I don't know what it was. I was nervous meeting you for the first time. Even with Robbie too, it was weird, because we talked for so long, but we never met.
Yeah.
So meeting that first time, but then that first time, forget it.
Yeah.
It was just there. So it's weird to say, but I would definitely call you a brother. Definitely.
So let me ask you a few things about your job that you got going on with the comic shop and stuff.
Okay.
You told me when you got this job, you're like, hey, I got this interview for this job and stuff like that. And do you remember what I said to you?
When
you got the job, you remember what I said? Don't spend all your money there.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't listen.
This might, I was like, be careful.
Yes.
Because you might spend your paycheck before you even get your paycheck.
Oh, yes. It is true.
Okay.
Brittany yells at me all the time, said, "Are you working for money or are you working for books? What is it?" I have calmed down a little, but you're right. You're like a kid in a freaking candy store. Because not only the comics, you know what I mean? We got toys, we got games, and some of that stuff like Gundam models. Some of that stuff is new to me, and I'm like, holy crap. So yeah, I after you said it, now I do remember.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Obviously, you're still buying a bunch of books and stuff like that. So and I know you're a reader as well.
Yes.
What is give me 2 or 3 of your favorite titles right now you're really enjoying reading?
Okay. It is really weird because I'm not trying to stay away from Marvel and DC, but being at the store, I mean, I was an indie reader anyway.
Sure.
But being at the store actually broadens your mind and like what else you could read. But I will tell you, I gotta give Marvel credit. I just finished a Blood Hunt, and I got to read all the titles, all the tie-ins, and I will say 80% of it was really good. And Blood Hunt, the way it ended, was fantastic.
Yeah.
Freaking fantastic. And also DC is killing it with absolute power. I mean, people. I'm in the beginning. It was a shame because Blood Hunt was just about to end, right? And here DC comes with an event, and I'm telling you right now, people are sick and tired of events. When you and I were growing up, they had like what, one event a year? A year. Now they got one event a month.
Yeah.
So, with Blood Hunt ending and Absolute Power beginning, people were like, oh, I have to do this. But DC was smart that they didn't have all the tie-ins that Blood Hunt did.
Yeah.
So Absolute Power is freaking killing it. And I am liking the little guys. I'm loving Flash Gordon, Dick Tracy, Kill All Immortals from Image. Those are the books that I'm like, and I'm not going to say anything about the Energon universe because it's phenomenal. So everybody knows about it, and I'm reading that too. I just like the little guys. So that has something to do with Castle's Corner. Also, I want to show people the books maybe that are coming up that they don't know about, or comics that they missed in the week in the last week. So
your shop that you're at, are they pretty heavy on independent books? I mean, I've seen some pictures of the shop. It looks like they got quite a bit of stock as far as new titles every week.
Oh yeah. They we are trying to push the indie down here in Florida. It's a little hard to push the indies because I don't know what it is around down this area. Everybody is DC or Marvel. You know what I mean? So you have to show people a little this. Yeah, but we are huge into indies, especially, obviously Dynamite. I push big time. Black Box, I push big time. Boom. So let me ask you this. Would you say Image is an indie publisher?
By definition, it is. But with titles like Transformers and
right,
it's kind of right in the middle as far as. But by definition, for what they do and how it works with their publications and with the with the creators and stuff like that, it would be an independent publisher. But looking at it through a different lens, you could put it right there with Marvel and DC as well. So
exactly.
It's I would say it's got its own category. You got Marvel, you got DC, they're mainstream. You got Image, which is independent / mainstream, and then everything below that is going to be independent. But then you also look at Dynamite, and you're like, okay, how is Dynamite independent when they got Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls, all the Terminator, all these books that are like mainstream, properties that they have under their belt now, so it's different,
Yeah. Space Ghost, I'm being honest here. Space Ghost in our store is outselling Batman.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's outselling Batman. It's outselling Spider-Man. It's actually outselling the Thundercats. Thundercats was really big. They're number one. I think now Space Ghost jumped up to their number one. Yeah. And I am telling people they are actually giving Skybound, a little competition here of your, nostalgic feeling of Transformers and G.I. Joe. I'm not saying they're at that level. No, because I will tell this is how I can compare. We're not a big store, okay? We're not big as Robbie's, the Deep, who's been there 30 years, and which is phenomenal. Have
you ever been to Robbie's store?
No, but we are going next year, Brittany and I, after MegaCon in February. Yeah. We already are saving money and everything to go to Huntsville in April to go to the con.
Robbie, if you're still watching, man, I'm heading your way, buddy. I'll probably be there within the next few weeks, to be honest. I'm not too far away from you. Well, I am, but that's the direction I'm going. So karaoke again.
No, he said that to me. He said, dude, you have to, if you come, you have to do karaoke. I'm like, no, man. He goes, you have to, because Bueller did it.
Yeah, I did it.
And he knocked it out of the park. That's his exact words.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I did not knock it out of the park, but I had a good time. And, Robbie knows my philosophy when it comes to things, so I'm up for it. And so I'm really looking forward to hanging out with Robbie again and his friends there. It'll be a great time. But yeah, buddy, I'm heading that direction is the plan. I'm in Kansas right now. I'm going to be in Wichita here probably in a few days. And then, it's still a ways away, but it's closer than Oregon. So, I'm heading back to Huntsville, Alabama and stuff. But anyway, you mentioned some of the books that you're kind of reading. A lot of people ask me all the time, what should I invest in and stuff like that, and that's not really my thing. I will tell you this right now, I don't even bag and board my books. My books right now I buy are literally, I just get them to read. And I just went to a comic shop the other day called Tattoos and Comics. I bought 4 books. They were all bagged and boarded. I brought them on the bus. I took them out of the bag and board and then put them in my short box and stuff. And I just use the boards to write stuff on or whatever, scratch paper. But I'm still a huge fan of comics. I love comics. Comics have brought me so much in my life, and brought me, what I get to do. The friends I've met are literally because of comic books, and stuff. Sure. So it's a really important thing. It just, in my collecting, where I'm at, my collecting of books, it's just old school. I've kind of reverted back to when I was a kid, where I just bought them and put them in my back pocket and threw them in a box or whatever. That's kind of what I'm doing now. And it's like I get them. None of them are bagged and board. I don't buy bags of boards anymore. I just throw them in the box. And when I get a chance to read them, I read them. And that's kind of that's the reason I'm buying. I'm buying them to read them. That's the only reason I'm buying books. I'm not buying books, so I'm going to keep this for an investment.
Oh, no.
It'll be worse.
No. No.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. I know all that stuff. I know if I wanted to do investing and all this stuff to buy that are worth money, I can do that. I've done it. It's not, it's in my wheelhouse. It's just I've chosen. I'm not interested anymore. It's not my bag. And I like to have the books I like to read, and the rest of them, if I don't want to read them, I'm not going to buy them. But that being said, I'm also open to people's other suggestions. Hey, is this any good? Let me know. And that's one thing I'm kind of excited about having John here on the channel, is because he's in the deep of it in the comic books at retail. I can ask John when we do the shows, hey man, what am I missing? What are we missing?
Sure.
that we should be reading, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, like this.
Oh,
Bam! I did this. Look at that.
That looks really cool cover, by the way.
Of course, I bought this. This was the 1 and 20. You know, which I don't buy that much.
He's big and intense. Yeah, he is big and he is intense. I tell him all his videos. Make sure you smile. You got a great smile, buddy,
and a laugh too. I remember.
Wilkos, hello. How are you? Robbie Roach, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining.
Hey, Robbie.
Brian, hello. How are you? Appreciate you.
Hey, Brian. How you doing, buddy? No, I'm like you. Did I get this 1 and 20 because I'm gonna put it away and sell it in a couple months? No. Yeah. I'm another thing that I don't know if you know about me. I am a huge Queen fan with Freddie Mercury, Brian May, John Deacon,
Did you know that what's the Flash Gordon guy, Sam Jones?
Yeah.
He never met Queen.
Yep.
I asked him about. I interviewed him one time. I asked him about that. He goes, "I never met him." He goes, "I had a chance, and I didn't go to this party that they were there." And he's like, "That's my one regret, with everything. I wish I would have met Freddie Mercury and all that stuff." And he never got a chance to.
That would hurt my feelings.
And then I asked him. I remember I asked him. I said, "Hey, because he was in that Ted movie, right?" And he played himself in the Ted movie, and he had the long blonde hair and stuff like that, just like he had in Flash Gordon. I asked him, I said, "Hey, let me ask you a question." I go, "When you did the Ted movie and there you are and all your goodness, was that the real deal, or did they have you wear a wig?" And he started laughing. He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "I wanted to grow it out, and I could have done it, but I just didn't have time. So, yeah, it was a wig." So, just in case anyone's wondering if it was the real deal or not in the Ted movies, it was a prosthetic wig that he was wearing.
Was he a nice guy?
What's that?
Was he a nice guy?
He was interesting. He was right down the middle.
I see what you did there.
How you doing?
Hey.
But he was the interview we did was really nice. It was like one of my very first interviews I've ever done, and one of my very first interviews I ever did with a celebrity, which I hate doing, and that's why I don't do them. And but he was okay. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but I'm glad I did it. But I also want to say, the stuff that we're going to talk about on this show, like I said, we're going to do it every 2 weeks. It'll be different topics. We're also not going to shy away from stuff. That's not one thing I've ever done. I don't mind, talking about if there's some issues going on. I don't tend to stir the pot. That's kind of not my deal. But if people ask me about stuff, I do bring it up. I know there is a lot of drama about different grading companies or whatnot, and somebody asked me about that recently. I said, "You know what? I've never had a book graded in my life, so I don't really know. I can't really give you a response if I've never used it. If I respond to it, and I've never done it. It just kind of sounds like a hypocrite and stuff. And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of those out there.
Same here. I'm not going to tell you to do something, and I'm not believing it. Look, even at my store, I hope my boss doesn't hear this, but if the book is out there and it's not good, I'm going to tell you. And I hate saying it because somebody put their sweat, blood, and tears in that book. So I will never tell people, this book sucks or this is bad. I've had a lot of people for my videos, the Castle Corner, they said, "Hey, why don't you do one book that's good and then one book that's bad?"
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to promote negativity. I don't want to shit on somebody's, who freaking, this is their lifestyle. But I will say I am good now, and I will say this, I am good now with the customers to say, this guy likes science fiction. He's not going to like this crime art, so I'm not going to tell him to get this. That's what I'm trying to say. I could tell people what is good.
Yeah.
And if I tell people that it's not good, but there's a reason. Maybe the pacing was bad. You and me, we had different art styles that we like, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Even though I think both of us are old school and all. So that's another thing that I would like people to know, like what is going to be good out there. What is, like I want to tell people, oh, you know what? You can read the absolute power books, but the tie-ins, you don't need to read this one. You don't need to read this one, but you need to read this.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do. But the negative, I don't like to do that. You know what I mean?
Let me. We got our good friend Sleepy Reader in the chat right there. If you're looking, we got two of the best comic book reviewers in the chat. We got Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers and Damien from Sleepy Reader. If anyone needs any reviews on books, just check out both of their channels. Robbie has a little bit more deeper as far as more books that he reviews per week, but the ones that Damien does as well, he does a great job. So either of those two guys, you can jump on there. And you know what? Back when I used to do reviews and stuff like that, and all the publishers always kind of said the same thing. They're like, "Hey, be honest." And I just kind of made a decision right then and there. It's like, you know what? If I don't like a book, why would I want to spend time talking about it? You know what I mean? I just kind of told them, I was like, if I don't like something, I don't want to go and make a video about something I don't like. It just didn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So I would just not. It's like, oh, I didn't like it, so I'm not going to waste my time. But if I like something, I would make a video about it. Oh, let's review this book and what we liked about it. One of the books that's very polarizing is the Ninja Funk book. And I will be honest, I read it twice. It wasn't for me. It wasn't, it didn't do it. But I respect the fact that the person got it done and did it. So I mean, and the guy who did it, GPG or what, I always get his name wrong. I know him. He's a nice guy. And it was, I look at it like, man, he had a vision. He brought it. He did it. Maybe he didn't knock it out of the park and it wasn't for everybody, but at least he did it. And so I got to give the guy credit for doing it. It wasn't something I liked. I read it. I thought the artwork was pretty good, but it wasn't and I even had the exclusive for it. So it was just like, the book itself, and what do you expect a first-time writer? You expect them to knock it out of the park?
No.
Probably not. And that's what the people were kind of being a dick about and stuff like that. Let me go back here. Let's see. Gorgeous George. I hear that John love those older books, even reprints in mint condition. I like reprints, yeah. Robbie says, any thoughts about the Sticky Gooser? Let me tell you about Sticky Goose.
Go for it. Preach.
I don't really care. You know what? I know he did a video once when he talked about Robbie.
Yeah.
And from what he said about Robbie, I could tell he's never even watched his channel. And I was like,
so nice.
What is this? I go,
right.
The stuff he said, I mean, a couple of things were right, but most of it was like, I don't think he's taken the time to watch it.
No.
And, but I look at it this way, and I did watch one of Sticky Goose's videos that popped up on my feed, and I don't know if you saw it, but it was about him. He used to drink a little too much and stuff, and he made a video about he doesn't drink alcohol anymore. And I watched that video, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought he did a really good job. He was very honest, so I got to give him credit for bringing that to light and talking about an issue it had. I don't know how much of an issue it was, but he just kind of went a different direction. As far as his other content, I don't really pay attention. And, I'll be honest, I don't watch a tremendous amount of comic book stuff anymore. My YouTube feeds are filled with like travel stuff and everything. And that's what I spend a lot of my time watching. I know that he likes to stir the pot. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, and he's a drama queen. That's
if you want to get into it, you can, but if you don't want to watch it, you just don't watch it. And I just I watch other stuff. So honestly, Sticky Goose, if it makes you happy, do what makes you happy. Okay. Let's see. Black Box Comics says, "What's up, Robbie? When does Deadly Trails come out?" That comes out very soon. Man, they got some awesome. I think it's at the end of the month.
End of the month, 28th.
Yeah. 28th. There it is, right there. Let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling down here. Austin, he stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulders and narrow at the hip. And anybody knew you didn't give no lip. John. There you go. But I don't mind sticking. I'm glad I made a thumbnail in his video. It means I've made it, but I don't pay attention.
Yeah, you can't.
And I know people get really upset. And
yeah,
here's the thing: Robbie's been on YouTube for a long time. I've been on YouTube for a long time. Nothing really surprises me anymore. It just kind of is what it is, and to each their own. That's all.
That's why I don't want to do negative stuff because there's
we're gonna
about that. You know.
Yeah. J Pop, hello. How are you?
What up, Jay?
Let's see. All right, I think I'm up to everything. But anyway, I wanted to call on here and just kind of introduce John. You'll get to know him more as time goes on. John, you are doing a weekly video with the XP Experience called Castle's Corner, talking about the book that you liked that week. And it's just a short video, if I'm not mistaken, but that comes out every week, right?
Yeah, it comes out. It should be coming out every Wednesday and Friday. They got me doing 2. Yeah. So not that they got me doing. I love doing it. So but hard to do what you want to say in 1 freaking minute. That's the hardest part.
Just listen to Robbie. He does like 50 books in like 25 minutes. But
it's harder than it looks. I will tell you, it is. You know.
So when are you going to have your own channel, John?
Never.
Well, I don't know, because I was thinking the same thing, and then Damien brings it up. Why would you not just have a channel just to be there, just to kind of post like your own thoughts or something like that? I mean, why not?
I've got a lot of honestly, I got a lot of people that
it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, I know.
It's free.
Like, I'm very surprised. And I'm being honest here. I am. I've done 2 videos so far on the EXP, and both of them have the reviews that I cannot freaking believe. For short on the experience, doing like 500, 600, 700. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why do people want to listen to me and all stuff like that? So I have to get past that part. I don't mind being somebody's bitch, but I don't want to be the owner, So I don't mind being on other people's pages and all, and videos and all stuff like that. But I don't think like I can do it all. Same thing like the comic book store. Everybody was like, why don't you just own open up your own comic book store? And I'll get that fly. Get that fly.
There's literally my fly swatter sitting there, and there's three flies on the fly swatter. I'm like, they're fucking with me. They're like on the fly swatter. I'm like, come on. I even took a picture. I took a picture.
Oh my god.
Look at it. You can see the 2 flies on the fly swatter just sitting next to me.
They're just teasing you, man. They're teasing you, bro.
That's one thing. That's my biggest pet peeve is obviously traveling in the bus in nature, the goddamn bugs, man.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere and it's nonstop. And it is what it is. I've never found a place where it's not. But anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that was funny as crap. But I would never do my own. I don't think I have the. Honestly, I don't think I have the confidence to do it, and all stuff like that. I like maybe maybe in another year, because the experience are actually saying that if these videos keep on doing well, that they have an opening for their Tuesday night review show.
Nice.
So they said after everything gets going, maybe you could do that. And I'm open to anything. I have a funny motto is that I'll try anything twice.
Yeah.
But I am just dipping my feet in this YouTube. and we'll just see where it goes. Now, granted, I have the love of you and Damien and Robbie and Fable and Stu and Lynx and Jelani and Brooks and everybody out there, Nick, and Kyle on the XP. So we'll see. I'll never say no, but we'll see.
Well, we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. I just want to let everyone know that, like I said, we're going to try to do this every couple of weeks is the plan going forward. And maybe it extends. I don't really know, but every couple of weeks is kind of what we've agreed to. And like I said, we're going to do topics. We'll talk about newer books that John's reading and I picked up as well. If anyone has any ideas for topics that they want, please let us know in the comments or on this video. I have tons of topics I can do. Trust me, I did 150 episodes of the Coffee and Comics, and every one was based on a topic, so I can make stuff up and just kind of source those, no problem. Because we haven't done those in a very long time. So there's your thought on a graded book now is different from what it was 4 years ago when we did that. So
sure,
we can jump on that. So it's kind of a open door. So please, if there's anything specific you guys want, let's see. Good evening, John. Do you have any opinions on the new PSA grading company coming to the game? That was actually somebody asked me that question too, and I told them that kind of what I said earlier. I don't know because I've never even used any of the other ones, and if I haven't used CGC or CBC, whatever it is, or EGS or whatever it is, I wouldn't know where to stand as far as a new one coming in. But the only thing I can think of is more competition, the better. That's how it is on everything. If you got one company monopolizing the business, then they can kind of slack off. If you have multiple guys playing the same game, then people are going to step up their game. So hopefully that will be the take on that one.
That would be a good episode to talk about, because being at a store, holy crap, I've heard so much shit about CGC. Not even more than what's out there, because we have some customers who work for CGC, and you have to do an application, and you got blah 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 blah, and you wouldn't believe that what you have to go through and how they grade. It's wild.
So this is what Robbie wants us to talk about. That kind of shows you a lot about our friend Robbie right there. So we'll put that one on the back burner. Maybe when we have you as a guest, we'll call it the micro guest, and we'll have you on there. it'll be Big John, Big Bueller, and Micro Robbie, and we'll figure that. So but I would like to have other people on the channel. Obviously Robbie, obviously CP Reader would be great. Damien, our good friend. We all know each other. We've all spent time together, and so it'd be kind of nice to kind of reunite.
And we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
February. And let you know too. Actually, I talked to Robbie last week. We got to do something. Maybe not this year. Like maybe starting next year. Like in the fall. Get everybody together to do a Airbnb type of thing. Nothing to do with con. Nothing to do with con. You know what I mean? Just to do something different.
Yeah, it's funny because me and the guys from Portland have talked about that, and just because we kind of a couple of the guys couldn't make it to the summer con, and we did that the year before, and so we were talking about the four of us or whoever getting a Airbnb, just hanging out for the weekend. So it'd be really cool for us to get together, all around and just kind of do that and then enjoy each other's company. So, because honestly, the MegaCon is great and going to the con is great, but really that's not the best part. It's not going to the con itself. It's just hanging out with all the people, all your friends, and going out to eat and playing dominoes and talking, having conversations and making memories. The comics are the afterthought, to be honest.
Yeah. So if it wasn't you guys, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to MegaCon. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
So.
All right, John, let's wrap it up. I think we're done. We're about 50 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. We have another one scheduled in about 2 weeks. We'll shoot from 2 weeks from today and do another Tuesday. and we'll be topic based. And I'll try to. Well, I'll probably do something similar to what we did before, where I ask a question in the preview video, and we can source that information for the topic. Would be kind of nice. But John, anything else you want to say before we go?
I love you guys. I really, really do. I love everybody. I love this community that you brought me in, and I've met a lot of nice people, and this is going to be fun. That's what I want. I want something fun. Doesn't have to be light. It could be heavy or whatever. I just want to have a good time with my brother and with you guys too. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
All right, guys. Tomorrow morning I'll have the preview video out, just like I do every Wednesday, and Thursday I'll be back with Team Dynamite, and they'll have some books for sale as well. So thank you so much. I'm also working on a couple of different Spawn videos. I might get some out this weekend. I don't know if I'll get time to it, but I've already started them, so they're kind of cool for the Spawn and stuff. So be on the lookout for those. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to live your best life. You know what to do. We'll see you next time in a couple weeks. Bye, everyone.